Hey guys, how's it going? Jason Station here, welcome back to the channel. So as you guys might have known if you guys watched yesterday's video on 3 decks in the meta that I don't particularly enjoy, there has been one deck that I think has remained relatively consistent throughout the past patch, really, and that is Annie Ezreal. This is a deck that I showcased almost a month ago, and its relevance, its deck build, and its overall place in the meta has remained pretty much the same. And with recent uprising of decks like Bard Demacia, this deck actually does pretty well into that, and it has landmark removal, the best landmark removal in the game to deal with Thralls, albeit not a fantastic matchup still, and the Auction Infinite deck. And I wanted to revisit the deck because, well, you know, if you guys have seen recent leaderboard news, Majin Bay and Ace, to some of the top players in the America Shard, have hit rank 1 with this deck, and I just want to see it again and just get a feel for it within the general meta. For those of you who might be unfamiliar with how the deck works, it is very reminiscent of the Ezreal Draven, Ezreal Caitlyn Tri-Beam deck. However, it has lowered the curve pretty drastically. As you see, in the past, you very much focus on this 3-drop slot, and then maybe have some pretty late game. But you notice that our deck caps off at 4 costs, with the majority of our deck costing less than 3. And this is because we're packed full of cards like Blade's Edge, Ravenous Flock, Disintegrate, Mystic Shot, just very, very cheap removal cards, because what this deck emphasizes on, rather than the Tri-Beam card, is Ravenbloom Conservatory. I'm sure you guys don't need an introduction for what this does, but once you count down Ravenbloom Conservatory and you get to play Tybulk, all of a sudden most of your spell damage gets doubled, essentially, because most of our things in our deck just deal 1 damage. Some, 2, you get a 50% increase, which is phenomenal. Blade's Edge dealing 2, Static Shock dealing 2, absolutely phenomenal for its cost. And there's just a lot of ways to turn the tides once you are able to count down your Ravenbloom Conservatory. I'm not sure if there's anything super noteworthy in this particular version. 3-Station Archivist to look for Whispered Words and other card draw. It has been very, very nice. 2 copies of Scorched Earth. It actually gives you a little bit more leeway into Thralls than you might think. I think against Thralls, it's okay unless they open double Thrall turn 1 and 2. But if you have 2 Scorched Earths and some ways to fish for it, the Thralls matchup isn't terrible as long as you know how to play it. The rest of the case, Flock, Disintegrate, Classic answers against the more Demacia mid-range decks, and the deck overall again is still very dissimilar. It loses pretty hard into Shadow Isles control decks, but recently against some of the more Demacia mid-range things, as well as a little bit more of Thralls, this deck is not bad. So go give it a try if you guys are having a little bit of frustration with the meta. I think this is a relatively good pick, where it has pretty good matchups into most of the frustrating things, and has relatively few direct counters roaming around in the meta currently. So I'll leave the deck list down below in the descriptions. Please enjoy the games. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the channel, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace out, guys, and take care. Yo, Remney with the follow. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Glad I can make it. But yeah, we're talking about something. Landmark removal, Thralls, yeah. Ideally, Thralls, at least for me, because I just absolutely hate Thralls. Ideally, Thralls is relegated to like Azir Aurelia levels, where it's playable in the right metas, playable in tournaments, but not like some ladder dominating threat. So hopefully the changes and nerfs they bring about will kind of push in the right direction. Do I keep Mystic? Do I keep Stat? Do I keep both? It's probably pretty greedy. Whatever, we'll see. Instant Sentry is the problem though, not actually Sands Time. I sort of disagree. I partially disagree. The reason why I partially disagree is the fact that Sands of Time shores up one of Thrall's big weakness, and that's go wide decks. The fact that Thralls can essentially negate like 10 damage because of 1 card that they can play at burst is very, very powerful. And obviously that's one of the main reasons why Sands of Time is so strong. Now, of course, Sands of Time also has the upside where it just gives you an instant sentry as well. Like, it's super synergistic for what exactly Thralls wants to be doing. Okay. As to that's why it's so powerful, right? Instant sentry could fix the Auction Infinite to, like, if you change how instant sentry works. I'm not so sure what you're getting at there, but I'm assuming if you're mentioning like if we change instant sentry, can also like two birds one stone kind of thing. That would be my guess too as to what you're leaning toward. Blade's Edge. Beautiful. Yeah, that's a relatively fair point. Although I think the problem with Auction Infinite lies in other cards. Ooh, discards Winding Light. I think a better change to you nerf counterfeits on only copy non-fleeting. It's not bad. In my head, I was thinking a little bit more drastic. I was like, we should like only make Font of Power like be able to discount one once. You can play it multiple times, so you only get one discount off of it. And I think that would be like that would admit my first thought of how to approach the problem, rather than counterfeit copies. But your proposal is quite elegant as well, I have to say. This is a really fat problem. It's actually just gonna give him a free spell this turn. Like, is this worth killing over the Aphelios? We'll do this. If we draw Blade's Edge, we can kill this, otherwise we can flock it, and it can scorch this. The only issue is the Poros, because it's quite likely as another Winding Light. Ah. Unlucky. Straight action limit on turns. It's not super elegant either. Anyone on Russian Twitter? Their list had Bard and Nami? Really? That seems curious. I remember like last time they missed out on 2 champions on the graphic. So there is a valid world where there are cards they potentially missed to include. I would appreciate it if Bard was on their list of considerations for sure, because I think Bard is a relative problem card. Nami at some point is going to have to face her match as well. Those cards can only exist for a certain amount of time. How do I fix Bard though? I have no idea. You could like completely slaughter him and do something like Temple where he only gives attack on chimes. Although I think that would be a completely horrendous idea and completely destroy the card. But that's one way you could do it, I suppose. I'll probably save this for like the biggest thing next turn. Happy Brothering is getting hit? Yes. Sad chimes at the end of the turn being on board? Interesting. Not a bad idea either. I think there's a lot of like interesting ways you could do it, but I am unsure of what the best way to approach it would be either. We have a nice turn, we can just kill his whole board for the most part. It's pretty... Oh, he's just gonna... Okay, so he goes this into Winding Light, which makes it a little bit more awkward. Yeah, that's really awkward. But we shouldn't be losing quite yet, though. So we kill this by doing this. Hard Poros, that's hilarious. Hey, another Ezreal. Okay, because we have another Ezreal, I'm just gonna keep my health up. They have burn in their deck, so I want to make sure I don't drop too low here. Do they have 6 burn? It's double get excited to kill.
Time for a true display of skill.
Annie Ez is gonna be big after the next patch. I wonder. Alright. I'm just gonna stress his Poros here. Annie Ez is certainly not without counters. And one reason why Annie Ez is so strong is because Shadow Isles has had a relatively low profile. And if a deck like Thralls gets nerfed, Shadow Isles is going to benefit very highly. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see a bunch of Field Rush after the nerfs. It's totally possible. Oro Snacks can power Bard, turn Bard by turn 4. That is quite funny. How does that work? Because the buffs Poros in hand, right? It just doesn't see the buffs in deck, I would assume. Hand in field? Yeah, so it just doesn't like check in the deck. Ezreal. I'm very curious as to what this Inspiring Marshal plus Aurelia change is going to be. There's a lot of like funny things that... There's a lot of funny cards that I noticed got buffs or are getting buffs. So very curious as to their logic behind it. Besides like the fact that the cards are just not played. There has to be a little bit more than simply the cards are just not played, right? Right, guys? You're excited for Lava Lizard? we can go over like the cards real quick. I'm not gonna dive really deep into it until like Tuesday where we actually get the notes. But super curious because there's some really interesting cards that they're buffing. Need a Jhin buff. No, Jin's already insane. It's just that his cards just aren't quite that good. Like, Jhin himself is insane, but he's locked behind, like, this archetype. Transform pack is getting pushed. Yeah, like, Chief Nakatalk's getting a buff too, right? You just kill Lissandra here. Can we just scorch this Thrall while he's tapped under? He hasn't shown me that he has Harbinger. So like, if we destroy this Thrall, we're just gonna set him back, right? While he's tapped under. That might have been like greedy, or like not greedy enough. But given my read, like that seemed okay. Can level Annie. I don't want to kill Lissandra because he could like want to replay Lissandra, right? We're so good at this game, guys. We're just insanely good at this game. I do want to level level Annie though. So he's gonna replay Lissandra's my guess, and then I have another Scorched waiting. Evolve Shaman? I don't think I would be very curious if they ever released any mechanic like Evolve into the game. God, Evolve Shaman was a hoot. But there's also just no cards in Hearthstone, or Hearthstone, in Legend Runeterra that are like really designed for this purpose, right? Like there's very few low statted, like Concurrent Timelines, right? Like Concurrent Timelines is already in some very specific design decks. And what was I even saying? It's already pretty locked behind certain like cards and decks. If they wanted to push this evolve mechanic kind of thing, like they already have to worry about timelines as a whole. It seems kind of weird if they wanted to introduce more mechanics like that. Some people say Bard is a Hearthstone card. I wouldn't even say it's a Hearthstone card. People just use RNG and Hearthstone interchangeably, but there's not really anything in Hearthstone that's like Bard, which is kind of funny. Like the closest thing to Hearthstone mechanically is Manifest. LSF. LSF is different, right? You have to draw a specific card at some point in the game and it buffs your entire deck once. Like you can't really compare Keleseth to Bard. Yes, they like do similar things, but it's not fundamentally the same in a way. Doesn't work, buddy. Bard probably kind of gives me hand buff paladin vibes. Three, 6. Play it. I'm pretty sure hand buff paladin even operated slightly differently. Like hand buff paladin was like consistent. As far as Poppy Bard goes, I think calling it anything close to consistent would be a laugh. Keleseth is the Warlock legendary, right? No, Keleseth is a neutral legendary. Any class could play it. You have to rank 11 with Keleseth Pirate? What the fuck is Keleseth Pirate? How's a deck? Zoo? Yeah. Keleseth was very popular in Zoo, it was very popular in Rogue. But like, Keleseth was so strong that other classes just like try to experiment with him as well, right? Ezreal Keeper? Probably not. He gets like cock blocked by like a 3/3 elusive. Much better. Can you believe they're nerfing this card? Not this card. This card. I think this might just become like a 2-1 like Oncologist. I expect like Oncologist treatment. But yeah, that was my Friday. That took like 15 minutes to tell that story. I'm so ashamed. How did I manage to spend like 10 minutes to say that I had attended a Pitbull concert that wasn't that hype? I don't even know who Randstein is, which is, I don't know, maybe that's like even worse, but I apologize. I don't really know who you're talking about. Too slow, unusable. Well, maybe you're not too slow, but I get denied, right?
It's a people problem. I'm your man.
Some German heavy metal stuff, I see. We used to go to a corp event every quarter. Everyone used to get drunk as heck. And once top sales award came through. Ah, I see. Yeah, you're in sales. No offense to sales, but I could definitely see, like, or at least, like, you know, as far as stereotypes go, as far as stereotypes go, sales is definitely, like, culturally a lot, I don't know, looser? Question mark? That's the right word. Do I just go for this? 2 mana left. He has to have another Nopify. Yeah. Alright, pray for me, boys. What country? Dubai. Whew. Sounds like a blast. Please don't have a Nopify. Oh yeah. Yeah, as far as like plays go, that was pretty sick. A little bit dangerous to like try to go for this static shock. I'll go for it if he like commits first. Because now he has to have like another twin. Ooh. Ooh. You see that static shock? I killed 2 droplets with 1 spell. Woo! 漂亮. 漂亮漂亮. Also, the restriction was you can't use any 2-drops. Yes, that is correct. But I mean, it didn't really matter because you just upfront 1-drops, right? Because once you buff a 1-drop to +1/+1, it basically becomes a 2-drop. In that sense, it is quite similar to like what Bard does, but like it's a lot more polarizing versus like not drawing 1 chime versus not drawing Keleseth. Does Pibble play LOR? I have no idea. What? I'm asking you guys. You think I would know if Pibble plays LOR? Come on, what do you guys take me for?
I thought you'd never ask.
Ankle slam? Damn. Gonna smash me. 10th K, wow. Oh my lord. I think I got 1 golden portrait in Hearthstone, and that was it. And I thought I played a lot. 10K wins, sheesh, that's a lot. You played 100. I loved Q Block. Q Block was one of my favorite decks. So you guys can, you know, I don't know. You guys can judge accordingly. Honest deck. Yeah, you just coin Skull on turn 4 and you like laugh your way to the bank. So I played standard only. I never played any wild for the most part. So my instances are relegated to standard. I loved Galakrond when it came out. Like that expansion was probably like my last expansion I played in, the Galakrond set. But I love Galakrond and I loved Knights of the Frozen Throne. Those are like, those have to be like my favorite, 2 favorite expansions. Jade Druid? I did like Jade Druid. Like Jade Druid was like, it's funny because Jade Druid was powerful when it existed, but if you like look about it now, like Jade Druid got like, people, Jade Druid is bad now. how funny is that? When I played Jade Druid was like up there for like strong decks, but nowadays if you look back at it, right now Jade Druid is a bad deck, or Jade Idol as a whole is just a bad concept. It is really funny to me because power creep just shows you how fast it goes. Oil Rogue? I never played during Oil Rogue, but Oil Rogue was kind of bonkers. Haunt Druid was toxic. Yeah, there's some really funny counters because like Haunt Druid existed out of, do you guys remember like, what's it, Cabal Shadow Priest? So they released in Kobolds and Catacombs, right? They released the so Haunt Druid was Witchwood, right? So after Witchwood it was Kobolds or something like that, or at least very close to, right? So there's a 3-mana priest card that swaps attack if you hold a dragon, and then you combine that with the Shadow Priest, and you could steal like any unit for, what's it, 7 for like 9 mana, technically speaking. Potion Madness, yes, but I was thinking more like Cabal Shadow Priest. But Potion Madness as well. Inner Fire. Like the Inner Fire deck during cube block meta, where you would like steal like cubes, was hilarious. That was probably like one of my favorite decks as like a sort of counter deck to like the existing meta. Spider Tank used to be a broken card. Innervate, yeah, it used to be broken. Quest Rogue? I actually liked Quest Rogue. I don't know if this is going to get me flack, but I quite liked Quest Rogue. Not when it was a 4, not in its initial state. I liked Quest Rogue when it was re-released into Standard sometime after Knights of the Frozen Throne. Because then you got Valera the Hollow as your Death Knight champion, and you could do some really funny stuff with the quest. Can I flip Annie? No. Quest Rogue is so silly and wild? Yeah. I've seen Quest Rogue in Wild. I still watch Wild Hearthstone players on YouTube from time to time. And the speed, I will have to say, is quite hilarious as how it's sort of progressed. Because Wild just has every card, right? And eventually you're going to have a card that says summon X card X amount of times. It's been like 1 or 2. And sometimes now it's like summon 2 1/1s with Rush. And then all of a sudden it's Quest Rogue's like free real estate, you know? That's annoying. I want to pop High Bulk next turn. So I'll save the Static Shock because it's going to deal 2. So I'll use the Blade's Edge on something. I've leveled? No. But yeah. Hearthstone was fun while it lasted. There's a lot of things that I appreciate and I can look back at a Hearthstone with. But nowadays it's just not on my radar for what I'm interested in. The row deck that buffed? Oh, Kingsbane? Kingsbane... Standard Kingsbane was interesting. Kingsbane was an interesting deck. I think any sort of control-y-esque rogue style of deck was always interesting. But nowadays you just play like Stealth of Shadows or whatever, and you gain stealth for 4 mana. It's insane. Because when I played, like, Control Rogue relied on cards like Vanish and cards like Valera to stall, and it was very difficult, right? You just had like absolutely 0 control mechanics within Rogue, and you had to rely on cards very expensive cards to like kind of keep you at bay. And I thought that was super interesting. Kingsbane Rogue kind of elevated that because now you have sap as well, but also you have like the weapon. Like you have Kingsbane, you give it lifesteal. Maybe it only gives you like 3 health each turn, and you have to use it like really wisely. And then there's like the boomerang card that brings it back to your hand, right? I thought that was super intricate and well designed. Now, of course, it had its own issues that, ooh, that's really problematic. It has its own issues over time, but sap is not in standard? What? Damn! Are you kidding me? Sap is like, oh my god, how many years have I played and you're telling me sap is no longer in standard? That's so wild. That's so wild to me. I wonder what other sort of like Fan of Knives. Well, Fan of Knives was like kind of, why did they rotate Fan of Knives? Or why did they take, was it like, did they take it out because it was too bad? There's no way Fan of Knives was too good, and that's why they had to remove it. Blade Fury was like removed a long time ago, no? Or set rotates now? I do recall seeing something like that, although it sort of eludes me on the specific. Like right now I just watch wild Hearthstone content, so I can't really say for sure what exactly, you know, goes on behind the scenes.
Come out, wherever you are. Keep up, keep up.
Keep up. Keep up. Should we trade Annie for 2/4? Seems okay. Do you guys remember Blackjack Stunner? That card was like dope as hell. 1 mana sap would also increase the cost. Whew. Oh my god, Blackjack Stunner was disgusting. Jeweled Rogue? Oh my god. Hanal, whatever her name was. Like secret, like you just play Hanal and you won secret and all of a sudden you have a Christmas tree. Oh my god, good memories. Galakron Rogue, again, top time favorite decks in existence. I love Galakron Rogue so much. I liked a lot of Miracle Rogues or any like Tempo Rogue. It's probably like my favorite archetype in the game. And like my only golden class, I think. But yeah, again, Hearthstone was a good time when it was a good time. Zero mana 4/5 rush. Oh yeah. The I know what card you're talking about. Oh, is he leveling? What? How do you? Huh? Wait. Pause. Pause. What the fuck just happened? Uh-oh. You like Big Priest? Disgusting. To be fair, I was too poor to play Big Priest. I could never afford Big Priest, even if I wanted to. Okay, we lost. Raza Priest? Shadow or Anduin, like Raza Priest. I was also too poor to afford that. So, I am absolutely enthralled, to say the least. One time it got really out of hand and they stopped handing serving hard alcohol and it became only wine and beer. Yeah, that's pretty much what happened at my event. I assume they explicitly what's the word? Explicitly didn't serve hard alcohol for that reason. Yo, Jigu, what's up, buddy? Thanks so much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. I should have played you, wasn't it? That's fine. Bye for the best, yeah. People could probably get real unhinged real fast if that was the case. I'll have to get rid of Annie soon. Might just flock it, honestly. If I don't, I could like Archivist next turn, but if I don't hit exactly Mystic Shot, I'm still putting in 2 resources, right? So I'll just do it this turn, so we can't like level Annie. Already down 4 health, not ideal. Bull Shark. Interesting. Interesting card. I really like Bull Shark. I think Bull Shark is a absolutely really cool card. Hand could be a little bit better. I was wondering if I wanted to play like the Observatory earlier, because I kind of missed out on like a countdown or two. Because especially in this matchup, I think Ravenbloom Conservatory is really important, and we haven't really been making much progress towards it, so sure. It would have been nice to like get this progress going a little bit faster. Oh, I also found the perfect mic stand. So in the past, I literally put my mic on top of my glasses case just to like boost its height, but that wasn't really like tall enough. So now I have a deck holder and it's the perfect height to put my mic on, so you guys can see. Ta-da! Today you reminded Kliss and Hecarim existed. Good times. Good. Alright, I'll probably save you for a turn. I'm actually pretty excited for the patch. There's obviously a lot to like expect out of it. Because I have a video releasing tomorrow on my YouTube channel, and the topic of it is regarding my semi-dissatisfaction with the current decks right now. And so I'm really looking forward to this patch, because right now I don't particularly enjoy playing against some of the top decks, and hopefully this patch is bringing a fresh breath of air. Because I saw some interesting cards they also buffed. They're planning on buffing Blighted Caretaker, and then there was one other Shadow Owls like mid-range slash aggro card. And with like Callista buff, depending on what it is, there could be some semblance of, say, like some sort of SI aggro deck. Oh yeah, they also buff they're also buffing like Freljord mid-range, right? Like Beard got a buff, and then Whoojamacallit got a buff. So Beard is getting a buff, and then Hearthguard is getting a buff. Potentially 5-6 Hearthguard back. I mean, there's a lot to think about. So hopefully they're like, what? Huh. So they want to like replay TF something. Nice. Ooh. But it looks like they're trying to push different kinds of archetypes. Okay. Fair enough. Alright, oh, cause the Raven's Conservatory, that's so smart. What if I had a red card? Why can't we run red card as a card? What's the best play here? We could like static take 3. Alternatively, we Blades Edge, stun, save static for after Ravenbloom. Seems okay. But like, I don't think so simply because of nerfs. That's it. If it's anything like the last big patch, it's gonna be disappointing. Really? Was the last big patch like really like impactful? As far as I remember, the last one was really impactful. I kind of forgot what it was about, but I remembered it being quite good. Nerfs, yeah, the nerfs are really good. The buffs to the landmarks I'm a little bit more skeptical about, or landmark removal I'm more skeptical about. Simply because they're never going to be more efficient than Scorched Earth. They might be on par, but I doubt that they'll ever be better. Which also means that I don't particularly think that landmark removal is going to get any better, realistically speaking. And we already know that landmark based decks don't really care that much about landmark removal right now. Like, Thralls doesn't care about landmark removal. Even like, whatchamacallit, even Mono Shrima didn't care about landmark removal. So I don't really foresee many decks actually benefiting from buffing landmark removal, at least given the fact that they're buffing so few and already the best ones after Scorched Earth. I don't really see it like doing too hot. Okay, how do we deal with Tybalt? We physically cannot deal with Tybalt here, which is a big fat problem. So we take 7. I don't think we're winning this. Why not? Like, we can take 7. They don't have Ezreal to burn us out. They don't run Decimate. So if we only take 7 here, we're kind of chilling. Question is, do I want to play Ezreal? I could static first. I forgot what cards I had on top of my deck from the Archivist. So if like there's a flock, I want to play static to draw into, right? I think they figured landmarks won't be that big of an issue if they nerf Thralls. Yeah, I also agree with that statement. Oh, punished. Totally forgot. Okay, now I look silly for playing Ezreal after the fact. Promise going to 5 cost to slow it down. Yeah, if that's the case. Disintegrate. Oh wait, this deals 2. Oh, that's so big. That hurts. Okay, yeah, we're losing. We're losing pretty hard here. Unless? So is it better to play Progress Day or play the Tide? Okay, not bad. I'm definitely going to be very curious about where Thralls ends up after the patch. Ooh, that sucks. How do we deal with that? We're actually dead, huh? Are we? I think we're still alive. If my math is correct, I can't count. Ooh, that's tough. Are we still alive? So we oh. Wait. Hold up, guys. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Oh my god, what a disgusting stack. Oh my god. Okay, we're still in it, boys. We're still in it. We're still in it. What an insane stack. If only Ezreal was on the board. Incoming Decimate? Yeah. Just a random Decimate out of left field. Is this card like Riptide Rex? That's like also like a possibility. So we just ensure that he never breeds on us ever again, right? Uh-oh, card draw. Wee woo, wee woo. Danger, danger. Woohoo! Okay, we have our own card draw. What are we scared of? Oh, that sucked. Wait, that kills us. Damn. That's gonna be it for the games. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the channel, and thank you again if you made it all the way to the end. I really appreciate y'all. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, deck list will be below in the description of the video, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow for another one. So peace out, guys, and take care.